Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav and today we will learn about strings in Groovy. And strings is a very interesting topic in Groovy, and you might have known about strings in different programming languages, but I will consider that many complete beginners will be watching this session. So I will start from scratch and I will go very basic step by step. So in Groovy we can have different strings. So we can have single quoted strings, we can have double quoted strings. So single quoted means we can have a strings like single quotes and then we can have our information or text inside single quotes. Double quotes means we will have double quotes and then inside the double quotes we will have our string, and then we can have triple single quoted strings. So this will be, we use triple single quotes and then our string, and with the triple single quotes we can have triple double quoted strings, and similarly we can have the double quotes, triple double quotes, and then our text or information, and then end with a triple double quotes. And then we also have slashy strings. So this, the syntax is we have a forward slash and then we have our data and then again a forward slash to end, and then we have dollar slashy strings where the syntax is we start with a dollar and a forward slash and then we can have our data and then again a forward slash and dollar. Now in case any of this is new to you, do not worry, I'm going to explain this and we will learn this with some very easy examples. So I will go to my Eclipse and this is the project that we have created earlier, and in the package I'm going to do a right click, go to new, others, and I will search for Groovy and create a Groovy class. So I will create Groovy type next and class, and I will name this as strings and say finish. And here I will not use a class, I can directly start typing. So I can say def name equals, and I will use double quotes and I will give some value here. So this is a double quoted string and I have given a value, and here name is the variable. I can also use string data type like this, which is also fine. However, in Groovy, as we have learned, we can give def and the type will be resolved at runtime, and that is why we say in Groovy we can do dynamic typing, or Groovy is dynamically typed language and also statically typed. So this is name equals Raghav. I can just say print ln name, and if I run this, it is printing Raghav. So this is fine. I can also say here println, and I will say in double quotes my name is, and to concatenate the variable, this name variable, I will use plus symbol and say name. So this will concatenate the value of name with the rest of the string, and I will run this and you can see the output is my name is Raghav. Now I can also do concatenation, like I will say println and I will say my name is, and here I will say I will use the dot concat function, and here I can give either a string or I can also give the variable name, and if I run this, this should give me the same output, and you can see this is printing my name is Raghav. Now I can also do something like I will say println, and in double quotes I will say my name is, and I will say dollar, and in curly braces I will give the variable name. So I want to get the value from the variable name, and if I run this, you can see it is getting the value from the variable and printing Raghav. And I can also remove these curly braces and this should work fine. Let me try this, and yes, this is working fine. Now in case I use a single quotes, if I say println and in single quotes I say my name is, and I use dollar name, and if I try to run this now, you can see it is printing it as it is. Even if I try to use curly brackets here and try to run this, So you can see it is printing as it is. So in single quoted strings, we cannot refer a variable like this, and this property or this feature is called interpolation. So we cannot do interpolation in single quoted strings, but we can do interpolation in double quoted strings. Now we have triple double quotes and triple single quotes, and we can do, for example, if we say def s1 and I use triple double quotes and I say this is a Groovy class, and I go to the next line and say, and we are learning strings. And if I try to print this, if I say println s1 and I run this, you can see it is printing this as it is. So whenever you want to use multi-lines, we can use triple single quotes or triple double quotes. Even if I use triple single quotes here like this, and I use it at the end as well like this, and if I run this now, this should also give me the same output. So here you can see this is printing, this is a Groovy class, and in the next line it is printing, and we are learning strings. So whenever you want to use multiple lines, you can do these triple quotes, single quotes or double quotes, and then we can use some different functions also with strings. So for example, I can say println name dot length. So if you want to find out the length of your string, you can use the dot length function. So if I run this, you can see it is printing the length, which is 6. So it is printing the length of the string. I can also say println name, and if I want to get some particular character at some particular index position, for example, let me take this from here and put this here so that it is easy to refer, and I will just comment this earlier section. Fine. So if I say here, so we have name equals Raghav, and if I say name dot not dot, I will just use square brackets, and if I want to get a particular character, I can use the index position, and the index position starts with 0. So here R is at index position 0, A is at index position 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So if I want to get a character at index position 2, I will use square brackets and give the position here. If I run this, you can see it is printing G. So G is at index position 2. I can also say println name, and I can say -2. So this will start from back and it will start from here. So this is -1, B is at -1, and A is at -2. If I run this now, sorry, I will use Groovy script here. Yes, and you can see it is printing A. And I can also say println name dot index of, and here I can give some character. So for example, I want to know the index position of G. I will say index of G, and I will run this, and you can see it is giving me the index position of G, which is 2. And then I can also say here println name, and in the square brackets I can say 0 dot dot 2. So this means I want to get all the characters starting from index position 2 until index position, starting from 0 until index position 2. If I run this, you can see it is printing index position 0 to 2, all the characters. I can also print, I can say name dot, sorry, not dot, in the square brackets I can say, here I can say 5 dot dot 3. So it can also start from back. If I run this now, you can see it is printing starting from back and then going until index position 3. So you can use something like this, or I can say println name, and in the brackets I can give different positions. So I can say 0 comma 2 comma 4. So it will print character at index position 0 2 and 4. If I run this now, you can see it is printing characters at index position 0, 2 and 4. Now you can also use substrings. For example, if I say name dot substring, and I can use this substring with a beginning index, I will say 2 here, so it will print the string beginning from index position 2. If I run this, you can see it is printing the string from index position 2. I can also say name dot substring, and here we have another substring function where we can set the beginning index and the end index. If I select this, I can say start from 1 and go until 4, and if I run this now, and you can see it is printing from 1 to 4. So you can do something like this, and then there are some other interesting string operations you can do. For example, I will say def str equals, this is a Groovy class. Now here, let me comment all the above things. I will select everything and I will press control and forward slash. If you are on Mac, you can press command and forward slash to comment everything. And now here I can say, I will say println and str. I can do a split, so I can use the split function, and in the brackets I can give a regular expression. So for example, I want to split this string with spaces, so wherever there is a space, it should split this string. I will do this. I will give a space here inside quotes, and I will run this, and you can see it has splitted the string with spaces, and all the elements have gone into a list. So this has created a list with all the elements, and it has split it with spaces. And then I can do something like I can say println str is this string, so this is the variable we have used, and I will say minus, and I can give something here. I will say Groovy. So what it will do, it will remove this from this string and then print it. So if I run this now, you can see it is printing this is a class and Groovy is removed. So we can subtract something from the string. I can also say println str dot replace, and I can use the replace function. So for example, I want to replace class with session, so this will replace class with session and then print it. If I run this now, you can see it is printing this is a Groovy session. Now you can use some other interesting functions with strings. So for example, I can say str dot to lowercase, which will convert everything into lowercase and then print this for us. I can also say str dot to uppercase, so it will convert everything to uppercase. If I run this, so you can see this is everything is in lowercase, and here everything is in uppercase. I can also convert a string to a list. I can say println str dot to list. So this is a function. If I run this now, here you can see everything is converted to a list, and every character forms a element in this list. Even space is a character here, so everything forms a character, an element in the list. Now you can do some other things with strings. I can say println, and here I will use a string. For example, I say Groovy, and I say multiply with 3. So here I am just multiplying this with 3, and if I run this, let us see the output, and you can see it is printing Groovy 3 times. So you can actually repeat strings using the multiplication, and I can say println, and if I want to compare a string, I can use the function dot equals, and here I will compare it with the same thing. If I run this now, this should give me true because these are equal. So you can see it is giving me true. In case I change the case, I use a lowercase here, and if I run this, this should print false because Groovy is case sensitive, so it is giving us false. However, I can use another function. I can say dot equals ignore case. So we have a function called equals ignore case, and here if I say ABC in lowercase and try to run, this should give me true. So there is some problem. Let me see. Yeah, there's a quote here missing, and if I run this now, you can see it is giving me true. Now we have slashy and $slashy strings as well. So what does that mean? Let me just show you. I will just comment this thing, and here we can say, if I say def s1 equals, I can use a forward slash and forward slash, and I can give my string here. So I can say I will say a green sky here, and this is a string, or I can also use a $slashy, which where the syntax is dollar and forward slash, and I will write my string and then a forward slash and a dollar, and these are slashy and $slashy strings. I will print this out. I will say println s1 and println s2. If I run this, let us see the output, and yes, it is printing this. I can also do interpolation or refer any variable. So if I say here, let me say here def name equals Raghav, and here I say $name, and here as well I say $name. Now here if I run this, you can see it is also able to do interpolation or refer the variables. Also we can do multiline here. So if I do this in multiple lines and I try to print this, you can see it is also printing multi-lines. Now you might have a question that what is the use of slashy and $slashy strings? We were able to do all this with quoted strings as well. So for that, let me give you an example. If I say here, if I say def s3 equals, and I am saying I will say my name is Raghav, and I want to put this name into double quotes. So I want to do something like this should print within double quotes like this. Now if I try to print this, let us see what will happen. You can see there is an exception and it is saying no such property. So for that I will have to escape this double quotes, and we use backslash to escape. So we have to tell the compiler that do not use it as it is, but this is something a part of the text or the string. Now if I run this now, it is working fine. However, I can use this with a slashy or a $slashy string. So for example, I say s4 equals, and I use a slashy string, and I say my name is, and in quotes I say Raghav and slash here, and if I say println s4 and I run this, you can see here we do not have to use this. So let me say this, I have to use println, otherwise it will print in the same line. I will run this again, and yes, you can see it is printing fine. We do not have to use the escape characters. Now you might say that what is the actual use in real world scenarios. So when you work with regular expressions, we will learn about regular expressions later, but whenever you want to use regular expressions, you might want to use slashy and $slashy strings. Otherwise it can become a little tricky using quoted strings, and with slashy and $slashy strings it will be very easy. If I go to Google and search for what Groovy, what is the purpose of slashy strings, and here you can see we have a Stack Overflow article. Let me go here, And here you can see, if you are defining a regular expression pattern, then slashy strings are useful as you don't need to escape backslashes like this and this. And there are many examples we will see about it. And this is about slashy and $slashy strings. And if I give you here a kind of a summary, so this is all we have done. And then if I say that the features we have seen is multiline. So multiline is present in, I will just go here and say we have multiline present in triple quoted string. So here we have multiline, yes, and here we have multiline in triple double quoted as well, in slashy as well as in $slashy. And the other feature we saw was interpolation, where we are able to refer a variable, and interpolation is available in double quoted strings and it is available in triple double quoted strings, and also it is available with slashy and $slashy. So this is a kind of a summary. This is what we have learned, and if you get any question on strings in Groovy, you can refer this. These are all types of strings and these are the features. Also, if I go to Google and take you to the official definition or official documentation of Groovy strings, I will say Groovy strings and search for it. And here let me go to this official documentation which is on groovy-lang.org, and if I search for strings, and you can see here we have strings, and you can see we have single quoted strings and then triple single quoted strings. We have learned this. We have learned the escape characters, and you can see there are different escape characters you can use like this. And then we have double quoted strings. We have learned about this, and all these examples are here, and you can see all this, and triple double quoted strings and slashy strings and $slashy strings. And here you can see this is the summary table. So all this we have learned. This is the syntax. Interpolation is available in all this double quoted, triple double quoted, slashy and $slashy multiline, and this is the escape characters. When you talk about $slashy, the escape character here is dollar and not the backslash. So this was all about strings in Groovy. I hope this was very useful for you. Thank you for watching.